the party. This a moon party. Hey, this a moon party. Hey, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. This a moon party. This a moon party. Welcome to the party, we don't play round here. Moon suit on or you get sprayed round here. Watch where you walking, you get ate out here. Wolves and them sharks like a buffet out here. Whole blue crew and we gon' rage out here. Boats in the sky, we gon' sail round here. We ain't never coming back, way out the atmosphere. Moon suit on, we gon' blast off here. You ain't get a bag, that's your damn fault, dear. When that rocket ship blasts, watch the whole sky clear. And you stuck on the ground, probably all in tears. You ain't moved no money, cause you all in fear. Moon dance with me, all I hear is cheers. Bottles popping off, all I see is cheers. You stuck in the headlight like a lost deer. Watch the rocket ship lift and we all disappear. Welcome to the party. This a moon party. Hey, this a moon party. Hey, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. This a moon party. This a moon party.
All sold? Oh, man. Woo! All sold?
Oh, what is up, everybody? I love that guy. I love Nick. Shout out to that guy. That guy makes some really good content. But anyways, what is up, you degenerates? It's your boy Hodlnomics back in the house. I have not made a YouTube video in years on years, but here we are. We are back and good to go. And I just got to say, wow, what a time. The last 24, 48 hours in the pDAI and Pulsechain community has been legendary. Like, straight up, this is absolutely nuts. And I'll tell you what, yesterday, like right before all of this stuff went down, we're going to get into everything that happened. I'm going to give my perspective, kind of go over the whole thing. Obviously, you know where I stand on stuff if you've been following me. But it was just so interesting yesterday when literally not even 10 minutes before all this stuff comes out, I'm in Telegram and actually, I'm in, yesterday was crazy, right? And so I took in the evening, I just had a dinner break. I just kind of went to go touch grass, hang out with family. And I just I had this overwhelming sense of peace about the journey, right? Whether I'm right or wrong or whatever, it was just my intuition. There's all this FUD going around, but my intuition about everything just took over. Getting out of the noise, getting away from everything. It was just like, you know what? I believe that this is the best solution. You got people like Brett EP bull posting. You've got people like 3 Capital chilling, not really caring about anything that's going on. All of this FUD and minting, whatever. They're almost even trolling the haters. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm chilling. And we got 10 days on this Versal app, which I should actually pull up. I'll pull it up here in a little bit. But we got 10 days on this Versal thing, or not the Versal app, the debt auctions, which you can see on the Versal website. Looks like that's how long it's going to be going. So I'm just like, man, who knows what's going to be going on in these next 10 days. It's going to be bloody. And we still might not have even seen the worst of it yet, to be 100% honest, because this is going to take a little bit of time for it to play out. And I was like, man, you know what? I should probably just bounce. Like, straight up, I'm going to turn the volume down on Wincy bit. I should probably, like, not outsell, but just tap out. Just, you know what? Let it play out. Again, just trust my intuition, because who knows what they're going to try to do to shake people out. And like I've always said, pDAI is the one token where you actually do want to shake people out, right? If we're right about everything and we're going to basically be gifted with this, people who are weak hands, who are just going to sell, who don't care about the ecosystem, who are in it just for the quick pump and dump, are a legitimate liability to once this thing goes to where it wants to go. And if we're right, we don't need new buyers. We don't need those people who are in it for just for the quick gains. So sell, whatever, get out of here. If we're right, the protocol will do more for our goals than any buyer would anyways at the end of the day. So anyways, there's a whole lot going on. But anyways, right after I said that, I was just sitting, it was in one of the Telegram groups. I was like, I'm going to chill. Right after I said that, Richard Hart did this tweet, and I was just like, wait a minute. What is going on here? And I freaked out. Like, I mean, I was like twitching, and I was with this is when I was still with my friends, and I was just like, I literally started twitching. I got freezing cold. It was really crazy. My leg literally was like it was wonky. But and thank goodness I wasn't at home, because I was just like, oh my gosh, like I got to get home, see what's going on. And then I started listening to some spaces and stuff. And anyways, it just gets crazy. So Richard Hart tweets this: something has inflated the pDAI supply by multiples. Free pDAI fork. pDAI has 24.5 billion supply now. DAI had under 10 billion at the Ethereum fork. Who is minting that supply, and why are they? It's rumored dumping it and bridging it out. That pick is of the market cap of DAI on Ethereum, by the way. Since it's usually $1, the market cap is basically the supply chart. So very interesting there. And again, everyone, just, we'll get into it later. I'm just going to say this is what he tweeted. Then right after that, he tweeted this: PLSX can never inflate, only burns, supply daily. Pump.tires coins can never inflate after they graduate to PulseX. Hex is capped at 3.69. Pulsechain has lower inflation than Ethereum. Coins with admin keys and other general suctitude can just hyperinflate and die. So, I mean, and then as all of this is going on, right? I mean, pDAI is just starts taking an absolute dump. So this is up here when this starts happening. Yesterday, March 20th, yeah, right up in here. And then boom, just straight nuclear candle. And it was, I mean, 80-90% dump in just a couple of hours. People were freaking out. Like I said, I was shaking. And then he tweets this again. So he just keeps digging in. Oh, and he also sold. Of course, we all know he sold from the OA wallet, just going super hard. And he sold a good chunk, right? So pDAI, it's rumored that this is the spreadsheet of guys that are minting and dumping. Perhaps they could do that forever. Coins that don't hyperinflate. I don't know what I did there. Coins that don't hyperinflate to death are cool. So, all right. So then, of course, everybody who's just going off on their pDAI hate, this is just all that they need. So, of course, we got Whale PLS. Richard Hart is dumping all of his pDAI. Like, everyone just starts going nuts. pDAI bros right now. And by the way, this is no hate on any of these people. I love a lot of these guys. Have good relationships with a lot of them. Hexy's been great to pDAI as well. pDAI bros right now. By the way, I lost figures on it myself. But at this stage, all you can do is laugh. He's right. I mean, it was just kind of like, dang, what the heck is going on? Mass delusion affecting the fDAI community extremely heavily. This is why we have pDAI, PumpDAI. So he's calling the PumpDAI the pDAI now. So anyways, it's like we have to drain the swamp, drain all of that economic energy. pDAI saga continues. So he's calling the PumpDAI the pDAI, which is just so funny. And then, of course, we got Gibson, Cope Harder. This is to one of the things that I said, right? I said put a spotlight on it, right? And we'll get into that a little bit. Cope Harder, here's response to your coping tweet. Have a seat, little bro. Stop panic typing and posting. There's no saving your bags. pDAI has died. R.I.P. Oh, has it, sir? Has it? I love it when these guys just speak so confident. One of my favorite things is when all of these guys just get so confident about something together, and it's like a collective echo chamber. Personally, I just like to do the opposite. Whether it's right or wrong or anything, it's just like, whether it's them or anybody, I'm not trying to throw shade. I've just always been that type of person. So this type of stuff just emboldens me. Go ahead, get louder. It's like, all right, cool. Then, of course, we have our favorite KDP. You should remember everyone who spoke out to you uncertainties about pDAI, lying to you all. And again, there were definitely people who have come out uncertainties, but I have always tried to correct them, right? So like, for example, when we had the vote and everyone was freaking out about, oh, is Richard Hart going to vote and all of this stuff. And I was sitting there before all of that happened, like a week before the vote. I was like, guys, we should expect Richard Hart not to vote. Worrying about if he's going to vote is only going to hurt us, right? Like there's no upside to that at all. We should just chill. And if you listen to anybody who is saying that it's Richard Hart or this is Richard Hart and you make any decisions on that, like that's on you, right? Like nobody should be listening to that and taking it any seriously, because it's going to happen. Like it's just inevitable. It's going to go down. So I've always been like, yo, chill out, relax on this stuff. And I've had to learn at the beginning when I first got into this, I definitely was like, oh, Richard Hart, Richard Hart. But the community corrected me and said, hey, we probably shouldn't do that. And I've learned and I've tried to distance myself from certainties, right? And a lot of the real ones in the community have. But then you always just have people like Katie. Remember, everyone who spoke to you about certainties, pDAI, lying to all. It's like, Katie, you guys are the ones who are speaking to us in certainties right now as well, too, right? So anyways, whatever. It's just so interesting how they don't see they're like doing the exact same thing that they're hating on, just on like the flip side. It's so interesting. And, of course, we have our radicals on our side who are speaking in ups, absolutes. They have their radicals, but there's a lot of people in the middle as well who are trying to have a strong discourse. Obviously, I'm on the pDAI side, but I try not to speak in absolutes. I think it's going to happen, the peg, but I don't know it's going to happen. All of those different things, right? They're painting us as disingenuous people when in reality, we're not at all. We've been telling you to follow the transactions yourself, to look up this information before you make any decisions yourself. And they're not doing that. They're all just saying, listen to us, listen to us, listen to us. And every time they've done that, if you've listened to them, you've gotten screwed. You've missed out on something. So again, I'm just saying, you guys do what you think is best for yourself, but these are just the patterns that I've seen over time, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so it's like their blatant lies, heard it, whatever. It's like, boycott them all now. We don't want or need them. So then, whatever. That's just how it goes. They've hated us since day one. Breaking news. OA sold all his pDAI, or has sold pDAI into PLSX like you all should have. Richard has addressed quickly, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, they're all just reveling in it, going hard. And then this is funny too, by the way, dumping all of his pDAI. It's like, no, he didn't dump all of his pDAI. It was just a small little bit. Anyways, right? So we're all in spaces when all this stuff is going down. It was funny. There were like 3 different spaces that were going down, and everybody, of course, is just like, "What is happening?" The pDAI spaces was pity party. It was kind of funny, but we were still just trying to make sense of it. And the truth is, this is all still weird. It's still typical. And if you haven't been around pDAI, he's done this forever. When stuff pops off and there's big community debates, he'll say something, and every single time the haters take it and run with it, like, oh my gosh, this is the end of pDAI. And then the people who have been researching and know what's going on are always like, wait, it looks like he's actually saying a little bit more here. And every single time, it's always the people who have done a little bit more research and understand what's going on. It seems like they're opening up and unlocking doors that the community may not have seen before. So anyways, for example, right, it's like something, and again, of course, I'm in pDAI. I've been in pDAI. I think it's the best solution for Pulsechain, and it's what makes Richard Hart that 5D chess, ultra giga person worth following, right? Big time. And so that's why I believe in it, right? In my opinion, without it, it doesn't have the same, Pulsechain doesn't do it for me, right? I don't want to FUD you guys. Everyone has their own reasons, whatever. But just for me, that's why I came here, or that's why I stayed here, was because I saw something going on. And I still believe that. So of course I'm going to look at this in a way and just be like, wait, what is going on here, right? But when he says it's rumored, dumping and bridging it all out, that's interesting. But what we noticed about this tweet instantly was he's comparing this to the Ethereum fork, right? Who's minting that supply? So he's not talking about the current mints right now. He's talking about, why is this way different than Ethereum? We had mentioned that in our early August 2023 tweets, that we also wondered that as well. That was very interesting because it was the OA. When the chain forked, again, something happened with the fixer bot, and there was a big focus on pDAI, and the pDAI supply inflated at that time, and it went up to like 22 billion. So it went from 10 to 22 billion. The vast majority of what he is talking about right here was him. So he says, or was the OA, right? We got to be careful, right? Who's minting that supply and why are they? It's rumored dumping it and bridging it out, right? So it's like, who's minting that supply and why are they? So he's also insinuating like that it's kind of him, right? It's hard to know, right? But who's minting that supply? Why are they? It's rumored dumping it and bridging it out. And then he compares it to ETH. Again, the fact that he's comparing this to the ETH inflation is very, very different than if he's just talking about the new inflation thing that's happening right now, because he's making people ask who's doing this and why. And if you get to the basics, it's the OA that started it. Now, the people who are minting out and bridging, they are not officially the OA, right? But there's a lot of speculation that they are connected, right? You go look at a lot of NineIron's tweets and you see stuff and you'll see that they're connected. And they've been working on PMaker and all of this stuff, right? So then he said this, PLSX can never inflate. So he's just talking about his stuff. He's posting it here, those types of stuff. I did not like this one as well. This is very, hey, this is my stuff is the best. I'm not going to pretend that then he says right here, coins with admin keys. That's right. Coins with admin keys or other general substitute can just hyperinflate and die. Again, PMaker, pDAI doesn't have admin keys, right? So it's almost like, okay, wait, is he talking about pDAI here because it doesn't have admin keys? Then we got this next one here. pDAI, it's rumored that this is the spreadsheet of guys that are minting and dumping. Perhaps they could do that forever. So again, perhaps, rumored, these types of things. Like, do you think this guy doesn't know, right? This guy entrusted $1 billion of y'all's money on the DAI protocol on Ethereum. To think that he doesn't know what's going on is actually kind of crazy, in my opinion. I think he absolutely does know what's going on, and he's shining a light on it. This is what I posted in my tweet. Is why is he focusing on this right now? What is this right now? That's my question. Why is he asking everybody to look at this? What's going on? So then right after all this happens, NineIron Capital gets up and of course comes and saves the day. Now the history with all of this, right? And I'll be 100% transparent. A lot of the haters are saying NineIron Capital could be the exploiter, right? I cannot confirm or deny that 100%. But what I can say is I have been working with NineIron Capital from the beginning fairly intimately. Like, I'm in a pretty tight Telegram chat with him. And when stuff like this comes up, I have historically really tried to vet it, see if what he's telling us is the truth. And every single time he's been correct, right? Like, I can say that as far as what's happening. Now, do I know 100%? No. But I can say that from the beginning, what he has been saying as far as the on-chain data and everything has been truthful. And then another thing is his information always seems to come out at very, very interesting times. Again, you can come up with your own theories about this, but again, he had this tweet ready to go right after Richard Hart tweeted about a potential inflation mint, right? So this is the thing that Richard Hart said, right? Coins that don't hyperinflate to death are cool, right? And that's what we have been saying. If you've been following NineIron Capital, if you've been in the chats, it's like, well, wait, pDAI might not be hyperinflating to death. There could be something going on. So then he responds. So the 5996 sold 683 million pDAI out of the VAT in the past 2.5 months, but he also added 1.7 billion to the queue that can be burned. So to find the queue, guys, let's just go check it out. So if you can go to DAI on Pulsechain, you just come in here and you type debt auction. Easiest way to find it. Boom, here is the link, and then it'll pop right up and you can kind of see what's going on. So, and then apparently the joy needs to go down. It's been going down a little bit slow, I think, for people's liking since they've been monitoring it, but it's still progressively going down, and it goes up and then it goes down a little bit. So, obviously we need to keep monitoring that, making sure everything looks good. But what he's talking about, and I still need to brush up on 100% of my verbiage, what this means. He's like, so well, we had 1.7 billion to the pDAI queue to be burned. That is this right here. So that is this down here. So this is all of the different, this is each of the, this is the queue down here at the very, very bottom. So it looks like every hour, somewhere around there, there's pDAI that's added to this. And then when it matures and we can do an auction, people are going to be able to buy this, or if it doesn't, then it's going to automatically burn, something like that. But it's basically, this is basically ready to be, NineIron tells us right here, burned, essentially. Queued to ready to be burned. The total DAI supply is expected to be over 100 million. And the other thing too, guys, by the way, if you guys know more about this, like what's going on, like what I need to brush up on is like how the debt auctions work, what a lot of these definitions are still, right? I'm being told, right? Full disclosure, I'm being told that when the joy gets to 0 is when we're going to be good to go. I need to confirm that, figure out, stuff on myself, right? How all of that stuff works. It's a lot and I'm super busy, but if any of you guys can learn, and a lot of you guys have in the pDAI chat, educate people, totally, I think that's the way to go. We just got to keep learning, keep educating, and keep figuring this out for ourselves. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to NineIron. Don't listen to Katie. Don't listen to anybody. figure it out for yourself. And if it takes a little bit of extra work, then, so be it. That's what it takes in this game to win or protect yourself. So anyways, okay. Total pDAI supply is expected to be 100 million lower than where we started before the quote unquote exploit. Bad actor, think again. So it kind of goes through here, goes through all of the different numbers. So, and just kind of goes through everything. So the net benefit pDAI to be burnt is a billion pDAI. So overall, but then there's also increases in supply. Total net pDAI supply since bad actor started down $100,000, right? According to NineIron, right? And again, just very, very interesting timing. It's always been that way. And again, you go and look at what he's saying on the Versal. Don't listen to me or him, is what I would say. On the infinite mint problem, there isn't one. PMaker vaults are not being reorganized as bad debts. The 5996 wallets are pushing the original minter vaults from the early days into default. The only way to do this is to increase the leverage by minting pDAI in the vault. So again, yeah, this is leverage and lending stuff. I don't pay attention to any of that because it's just not my thing. For, if you know me, but I can learn, right? I need to learn about this, figure out what it is. And this is something that I will admit, NineIron Capital always talks a lot of big words and stuff. But again, the more I've researched, when I asked him these questions in the past, they always get answered and it always makes sense. And I'm in the process of filtering it out and doing that right now. So then it says, this is the system working perfectly. Once the bad debt turns out, that entire vault is put into bad debt queue to be closed forever. When the system has a surplus, there was 14 million to be paid out to those that help clear the bad debts. So essentially that's what it is. The 5996 team has earned that. So that's what he's showing here. For now we are in a deficit and the pDAI available towards the VAT are considerably lower. The increases in pDAI supply were a necessary evil to push the system into deficit. This is the only way PMaker will be able to mint tokens and burn pDAI. So again, yeah, they're saying in a lot of the FUD that's coming out, they're like, oh, well, now PMaker is going to suck. It's like, okay, well, we can get ahead of that. We know that, but this is all for pDAI at the end of the day, not necessarily PMaker. PMaker is a tool for pDAI. And if it goes down and we're getting ahead of it, then so be it. Like, whatever, right? Like, that's not that big of a deal. And then anyone with a block scanner can see this. Even my friends that continue to scream infinite mint bum can see this. The deficit of PMaker will continue to rise and eventually the joy will fall to zero, starting the flop auctions. I have no clue how low the prices will go, but I was around for the real infinite mint bug in the early days of pDAI's launch. This is different. This is coordinated. It is scripted. It is perfectly designed to ensure that no one knows who pegged pDAI. I am not leaving. And yeah, again, this is, in my opinion, so scripted, so coordinated. We had Maria FUD. We had Richard selling FUD. We had Richard fudding FUD. We've got this, as all of this is happening and this person is quote unquote extracting from the system who has been long part of what is going on. It's just, in my opinion, way too obvious. Right before all of this stuff is about to pop off, it's like, again, it's just my opinion, a perfect shakeout, right? So we got another NineIron page here. We'll just get rid of that. So then there's that. There's one other thing there's a couple tweets I want to get on here. Yes, here we go. So independent pDAI investigation. So this is a Sami tweet, and it looks like this was Katrina Caddy. I want to say this is a ex-USD person in that community, a Tropa, one of those. They're kind of pDAI centric, but not like 100%. So conclusions, there is no hyperinflation. The Minter wallets have been actually preparing and setting up Pulsechain MakerDAO for months in advance. So that's where this is all right here. Of course, everyone was allowed to have their own opinion. See if we can zoom in if that helps. Nah, it doesn't really help. You can't see it. But you can go to Sami's page and read this, right? Of course, everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. And even more so, and even have to do their own research. Again, that's what we've always said. Do your own research. Don't listen to anybody. However, our investigation certainly aligned with what some of the more known Pulsechain faces around found out about the whole situation. The wallets associated with quote-unquote minting and dumping pDAI have done a bunch of moves within the PMaker protocol, and all wallets RH posted in his spreadsheet connect to each other via internal Maker vault moves. And again, that's just what NineIron has been saying. The wallets that Richard Hart tweeted are literally wallets that NineIron and Snowflake Society and you two have been watching for months. Like, those are no new wallets. They've been seeing them. Prior to the minting and bridging, the 5996 wallet that NineIron Capital pointed out to in his X has loaded the Maker Vault with hundreds of millions of pDAI. For references, you can see these links here and go check it out. One of the many internal Maker transactions that were done. Here's the Maker documentation that explains what those functions do. The minting from a Maker Vault does not equate to what people consider regular minting, aka inflation of supply. It is exiting your vault position. That's how the VAT works within the Maker. Those positions can get liquidated if the debt compared to what you put in as collateral becomes too big. Now, and again, this is if you put in the way pDAI works, you put in collateral, you can mint pDAI. If the numbers get messed up, then it pulls your pDAI or it takes your collateral away. I guess you keep the pDAI. It's gambling and it's a form of leverage. So I generally don't do that. I'll just do spot. But anyways, so learn. I know I need to brush up on that a little bit more myself. Full disclosure. Now, while what was done certainly resulted in funds being drained from the chain and prices tanking, the collateral for it that was placed in pDAI tokens sit in the Maker Vault on Pulsechain, and also it is not counted into TVL on the chain. Either it will get liquidated or paid back. Liquidation would immediately burn the pDAI debt, causing an instant huge arbitrage chunk and pump in pDAI. If it gets paid back and released from the vault, it will certainly increase the funds and TVL on the chain. Now, while we don't rely on speculations, this is just pure Maker protocol technology. Even if the user put his own money into Maker Vault without any underlying reason, they have the right to do whatever they want with their money, just like all of us. It does not mean pDAI is hacked or exploitable. That's huge. And we have decided to keep pDAI and Atropa pairs for both staking and trading awards. However, until the situation stabilizes, I will receive reduced rewards in the meantime. So yeah, this is just a third party just saying that we are going to, keep our pDAI infrastructure up. People have been talking about that on streams and X for multiple different reasons. We didn't use any of their references. We started ourselves on block explorers from scratch before checking what other people found. So they're just trying to be honest, which is good. I mean, I think that's what everybody should do in this situation, is like Richard Hart, just be honest. So more Sami stuff here. I love this. Here's a fun fact for you, right? If you followed on-chain Richard Hart, then you are up 279x on pDAI since the SEC. If you followed Twitter Richard Hart, then you were down 75% on PLS since the SEC. I like them both and I follow them both. It's a believer cycle. So on-chain Richard Hart is the Richard Hart that is making all these secret moves in the back end with pDAI that everybody just loves to chat about. And then Twitter Richard Hart is the one that everybody just takes at face value. So very, very interesting. What else we got? The independent investigation, Richard Hart. Okay, we got more. What else we got? I love this. This was a great video. I'm just going to go ahead and play this real quick. This is a video from Atropa. We have everybody in the Ethereum system directly working with Richard Hart win. And this just goes with some of the theories that people like Riggs, and if you've been around the community, there have just been some weird theories that some big players are involved, right? Like we're talking big, like the Milady stuff that was tied with Vitalik, that was also very coinciding with Vitalik posting a Milady picture, might not be a coincidence, right? I cannot confirm or deny any of that, right? But these are just theories that people have found. Riggs, my dog Riggs, found a ton of stuff on other chains about, hidden value and NFTs that these guys have, because they kind of know what's going on with ETH right now and they don't want their money there, right? They're looking for freedom for themselves too. So what is the solution? And then anyways, this is something that Maria had said.
Yeah, I don't know everything, but it seems like there's more cohesion with what's going to make Pulsechain success than there is cohesion with any other chain by far. Like we have everybody within the Ethereum system, like directly working with Richard. Yeah.
What do you see as the best way to bring?
Yeah, I don't know everything, but it seems like.
So anyways, take it what you will, make it what you will, right? But that's just, again, it lines up with theories of what others have found. Richard Hart tweeting about Tornado Cash privacy is coming to Pulsechain. They're already testing privacy pools. I just kind of pulled that one up. I love the Sami tweets. Sami's doing a great job. Raise my odds. And then, anyways, guys, just wanted to bull post about pDAI. And then at the end, right, look, my engagement the past couple of days has just gone through the roof. with just pDAI content. Everybody is looking at this. So everyone wants to complain and and blah, blah, blah. It's bad for the chain. But the facts and the data is going to be more important to me than your haterade. The facts and the data show that we are getting immense boosts in engagement and eyes just from talking about this. Richard Hart mentioned in his crypto Christmas stream, all we need is eyes. This is getting us eyes. And I hope and I am praying that we are at that spark in this chain where it is about to pop. And if pDAI pops, everything on the chain pops, right? Again, that's just my side. I think that's a narrative that people that don't like Richard Hart could get behind. It's something that people don't have respect for Richard Hart will be like, whoa, this guy is actually a G. And he's going to help a ton of people throughout that process. And I think in return, those people are going to want to help the chain and pay that example forward like he did for us, right? And that's why he shook all of the weak hands and the fickle hands out, because he wants the people that stay to keep enriching the ecosystem and not just keep doing things for themselves. And in my opinion, right, I cannot put words in his mouth, but that's his ethos for himself and what he likes to do. So I would imagine he's going to keep trying to reward the same type of people. And that's what I think the pDAI community is, to be honest. Everyone's doing their own thing. It's great. But yeah, guys, we are at a very, very insane inflection point. Very, very excited for Pulsechain. If you made it this far, shout out to you guys. You guys are the best. I'm going to do a couple quick little shout outs real quick. We got Teddy Gear. Teddy Bear's going to blow up with all of this stuff too. Teddy Gear is the quarter zip that I am wearing. You can see we've got the little embroidery patch right here. This is very, very nice. Feels awesome. I've just been chilling. Very, very cozy in this. We got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we got prints. We're going to have all sorts of good stuff coming up so we can rep Teddy Bear, which is by far the most brandable meme coin on the face of the earth, right? So very, very excited for that. We got the PRC Pantheon. PRC Pantheon was the first people to add pDAI liquidity besides the OA. And it's an NFT collection. Every NFT that you purchase, a percentage of that goes to liquidity. And then we use the yield and we distribute it to all of our stakers. And like 80-90% of our holders are staking. It goes up and down. So that's great. But right now I do think pDAI is just a much better investment. But you do get passive pDAI, you do get passive Teddy Bear P Maker with that protocol. We've got over $100,000 in liquidity, even at these lows. We have not removed it because that's the whole point of it. We're not going to remove our liquidity just because of some FUD. If there's some definitive stuff that we need to remove it, we will. But right now we're not ready to. And then the last one, we've got Bullseye. Bullseye is a Telegram trading bot. You can set limit orders. I've been hearing people have been catching all sorts of fun dips with pDAI on this, and each trade buys and burns pDAI. We just take a 1% fee. We use a lot of that to add liquidity for Bullseye and pDAI. Again, more liquidity, and then we are also burning pDAI as well. So we want every trade to be helping the chain, those types of things. So very, very excited. Check those guys out. Check those things out, guys. I'll be making more content on each of those. But anyways, sponsored by that whole thing. But anyways, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Really, really appreciate it. I'm very, very excited. Let's check out the pDAI chart. How are we doing one last time? Oh, we got a little dip. It's all good. We're back up, way up compared to where we were yesterday. It was at the 6, and now we're at basically the 3. So it's like a 4x, 3x. So yeah, I'll take a 3x in less than 24 hours, and we'll just keep riding, and it's going to be fun. But guys, the other thing, be ready for anything. Be ready for anything. We've got basically 9 or 10 more days of this, and it could even be longer. I don't know if that timeline is going to keep getting dragged out. But we got some more time, and so as it continues, there's going to be minting events. Every time it mints, people are going to freak out. Richard Hart could say something else again. We don't know how it's going to play out, but we've got 10 more days of this thing being broken and potentially being quote unquote exploited before it fixes. So just be ready for anything. Take care of yourself. And do what you think is best with that information. But I know what I'm going to do. Not financial advice. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, but I think it's, everybody can kind of make their plays and get ready for stuff. But anyways, y'all, thank you for listening. I'm ready to go. pDAI, Pulsechain, Teddy Bear, Bullseye, everything on Pulsechain, PulseX, Inc., Hex, to the moon. Let's go.